By 1972, the Jackson 5 were already pop icons, and the older members of the band had become young adults who dreamed of marrying and starting families of their own. The first was Tito, who married his high school sweetheart, Dolores Martez.
I met my wife when I was 14. She went to Fairfax High with me. I remember the first time she kissed me. It was my birthday, and she gave me a birthday kiss. And from there, everything is history. We dated for 4 years during high school, and got married a week out of high school. I was 18. No one wanted me to be married. At 18, when you're in love, and no one can say no. I'm very happy that I did marry. Yeah, I got 3 beautiful sons from it, and they're my pride and joy, and that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
In 1973, Jermaine Jackson married Hazel Gordy, daughter of Motown president Berry Gordy.
The first time I met Hazel Gordy, I was in awe. So impressed of a young lady who had it together. I called my father. My mother answered the phone, and I told her that I wanted to get married. And he didn't come to the phone. I never forget. Her father gave us a wonderful wedding at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and it was international press and everything, and that's one of the most memorable moments of my life. Me getting married at 19 wasn't like the most popular thing, because my father felt that, he was losing us.
As you know, everyone wants to get married at some time or another. But I felt the boys should have waited a little while longer so they can gotten established more better than what they are, to be ready for the marriage life.
The Jacksons married off one by one, basically to gain control of their lives. They pretty much had control as entertainers. They had control as public figures. But personally, I don't know that there was a lot of personal control and individuality. I think at some point these guys wanted this, and that's what brought those marriages on.
While Jermaine and Tito settled into married life, 2 more Jacksons decided to tie the knot. Jackie Jackson married Enid Spann in 1974. Then, the following year, Marlon eloped with Carol Parker.
I met my wife when I was 12 or 13 years of age. Matter of fact, Michael introduced me to her. We were just friends. That's all. We were real close friends. She lived in New Orleans. I lived in L.A. We got married at 18. We eloped. Some people didn't want us to get married, and I didn't tell my parents until, 3 months later, something like that. I told my mom. I let her handle that part of it. I didn't care. I wasn't living at home. I was away, And she said, Mom, I thought you were.
To tell you the truth, I was real sad when each one of them, when they left home. In fact, when my oldest left home, Reedy, I cried for 2 weeks. That was the first time that a child left the house and got married. So it was sad for me. And the same thing with the other kids as they grew up and got married. It was just sad to see them leave, because I just came right out of my mother's house, got married into the house with my husband. I've never been alone, but each one left an emptiness in me. I felt just a little bit more lonely.
Catherine hated to see the kids go, but she was also looking forward to grandkids. As far as Joe was concerned, it was about the act. And he saw many of the marriages as an infringement on the possibility of the group going further.
The Motown staff felt that by me marrying, I would lose fans. I can understand that, but at that time, life wasn't just Motown and the Jackson 5.
I used to drop her hand when I used to see fans come along, because it's what was told to me. I wish I wouldn't have done it now, looking back and as I get older, because I'm a human being, I'm a person. I have emotions, I have feelings, and I'm no different than you or anybody else.
The mid-70s were a really interesting time for the Jacksons, because the kids were growing up. They wanted to be able to say what they wanted to say. They were really constricted by Motown's very specific kind of issues. The Motown just wanted them to sing about being kids, and they were too old to do that. Motown recognized that and were basically ready to put them out to pasture.
Although Motown had guided the Jackson 5 to much success, the band wanted more freedom for creative expression. Aware their contract at Motown was almost up, Joe Jackson looked to greener pastures.
Mr. Jackson wanted broader, bigger license for his sons. He also wanted to write, and Motown wouldn't give them the creative freedom at the time.
And I wanted the boys to be able to write and produce some of their own songs. It just so happened that one of the other companies offered me that. And so since my contract was up at Motown, I just went on and signed.
But while Michael, Tito, Marlon, and Jackie accepted the new direction their father had his sights on, Jermaine decided to stay with Motown.
Then the media would say, oh, well, he's married to the boss's daughter, that's why he stayed. And that didn't have anything to do with it, because Hazel and I, we sat down and she said, listen, I'm married to you, not the business. If you go, I'm still with you. And that was it. And we had that understanding from day one. But that's the reason why I stayed. I'm a very loyal person. And I felt that that was good enough.
We all respected that decision, but it was always made the point that whenever he wants to return and come back, the door's always open.
There was a big hush across America when Jermaine decided that he was going to stay with Motown and the family was going to move on. It was big news. Joe Jackson said, it's my blood that runs through your veins, Jermaine, not Berry Gordy's. It was the first time that the family was not so much a family.
Berry Gordy gave us something, which gave us that road to success. Everybody plays an important part, but I would never, ever put Berry before my father. I mean, they're two great men, and everybody serves a purpose.
In May of 1975, a year before the Jacksons' contract with Motown expired, Joe Jackson signed the Four Boys to Epic, a division of CBS Records.
It was a very testy, very frightening time, even more frightening than 1969 when they moved to California. A whole world of uncertainty.
It was kind of a scary time for me and for the other children too, because Motown was like a home, and they all loved the company, and they all loved Berry Gordy, and all the Motown people were like family. And when the kids left, I said, they're going to really miss Motown. It was sad, to be truthful. It was really sad. And the saddest thing about it was Jermaine didn't come with us.
My love never changed for them. I'm one way all the time. Whether they may have felt a certain way towards me because I didn't do what they wanted me to do, but I'm still your brother. You're still in my heart. I mean, this is just a business, but we're going to be brothers forever.
With a move to CBS Records, the Jacksons had reached a personal and professional crossroad. The pressures of money and fame were beginning to break them apart, and changing times were forcing them to take startling new directions. Up next, a new beginning.
They hadn't had any hits. Could they go to CBS Records at that time and have hits?
The Jacksons go from records and radio to TV and acting when Famous Families returns.